As Governor Fayemi's tenure winds up in Ekiti State, residents of the state have filed out in their numbers to elect his successor. At least 16 political parties are fielding candidates for the election, but so far, and as expected, it has been a fierce battle involving Biodun Oyebanji of the ruling All Progressives Congress, Segun Oni of the Social Democratic Party, and Bisi Kolawole of the People's Democratic Party. From Ido-Osi local government area, Arise senior correspondent Oba Adeoye, who had been monitoring the exercise from the early hours of the day, joins me now. All right, we will connect to Oba in just a little bit, but earlier, the crew caught up with the incumbent governor of Ekiti State, where politicians are slugging it out in an election to succeed him.
It's early days. I mean, I came in to vote early, and I don't want to pass a complete and final judgment on my assessment so far. But going by my own personal experience at the polling unit, at my polling unit in Ogilolo, Ishan Ekiti, it's a pretty smooth exercise. People are calm. They are all queued up to vote. The officers were dutiful, and the beavers worked in my verification and accreditation exercise. So if everything goes this way, INEC would have been given a pass mark at the end of the day. But as I said, it is very early days. We cannot pass a judgment yet on what INEC has done. My PVC was still recognized, and this is the PVC I've been using since the very beginning of this process. One thing that has changed here is that and I think this will save us time. You know, we used to come first to do accreditation between 8 and 12 noon for everybody to do their accreditation, and then you go back and come back to vote. That process is now seamless. Accreditation is done simultaneously with voting, and I think that will save us time. It will probably increase turnout as well, because the period spent by each voter has reduced if beavers worked. So I think that's one thing that has changed since our own last election here in 2018.
As Governor Fayemi's tenure winds up in Ekiti State, residents of the state have filed out in their number to elect his successor. At least 16 political parties are fielding candidates for the election. But so far, and as expected, it's been a fierce battle between the All Progressives Congress, Biodun Oyebanji, and Segun Oni of the Social Democratic Party, and Bisi Kolawole of the People's Democratic Party. From Ido-Osi local government area, Arise senior correspondent Oba Adeoye joins us again. He's been monitoring the exercise from the early hours of the day. Thank you so much for joining us, Oba. I know it's been a long morning and it will continue to be a long afternoon, but since the last time we spoke to you, can you give us updates on what's going on at the polling unit that you are at?
Ended in several parts of Ekiti State. I am in Ido-Osi local government area of the state, where you can see behind me vote sorting is underway. After this process of sorting the vote according to the parties, the polling officers will not count the vote, according to the parties, and then declare the result, and then impute in the form that they have been given, which the party agent will also, attest to before being transmitted to the INEC result vault. So, like you can see now, voting has ended here and sorting is underway, and this is happening in several other parts of the state as we speak. So, the process has been so peaceful since morning, and we have not really heard of any or seen any part of the state that has reported any kind of violence since the process started at 8 this morning.
That's awesome. It seems like the terms of the peace accord have been kept to, and the citizens are going about their civic duties in relative calm and peace. Can you tell us more about the vote counting process? What does it entail, and when should we be able to know what the results are at that particular polling booth?
Okay, after this process, like I said, it will be imputed in a form ECA 08 or so. It will be imputed in that form, and the polling agent, the party agent, the parties are represented here. You can see some of the agents wearing the tags of their respective parties. They will attest to the form, and the polling officer will have to transmit a digital version of that form to INEC. Then the hard copy will now be moved from this point to the local government. For an instance, I'm in Idosi local government. The hard copy will be moved to that local government, and the results at the local government level will be collated at that point and then be transmitted to the state collation center, which of course is at the state capital. That's Ekiti, and that's where, you know, the big process will begin, where the vote will be sorted party by party, and the returning officer will at the end of the day declare one of the 16 candidates as winner of this election. In this place, for an instance, you can see the people have been so calm. They have comported themselves in the best manner that you can imagine. They belong to different parties here, but despite the fact that they belong to different parties, they have, comported themselves and acted like one big family. No disagreement, no fight, no battle, nothing. It's just like a carnival-like atmosphere here in Idosi. And I have one a party leader here, and that's the senior special assistant to Governor Fayemi on public-private partnership, who of course is an indigene of this particular OC town in Idosi local government. Talking about Bumi Bello. So what's your assessment of the process so far this morning?
The whole message has gone so smoothly. We have not recorded any chaos. Everybody has gone about their own thing, and it's been the turnout is very impressive. There is nowhere that we've recorded any chaos since. Even from what I gather from the state as well, from other parts of the state, it's been wonderful, because the parties have been able to tell their supporters that they should comport themselves well, that after everything, it's just Ekiti State, and what we are after is good governance in the state. So whoever emerges today as the candidate, as the governor, is representing Ekiti State, not any party at the end of the day. But you can see for yourself, the place is calm, everybody is happy, and no chaos, no fighting that we've recorded sometimes in the past. This has been a very successful.
But why do you think this particular exercise is more peaceful than what we witnessed in the past?
It's a process, and it has to keep improving, because what we have today is not what we had last election 4 years ago. It's not what we're going to have in another 4 years. So it's a process that it has to continue. Even INEC has put in a lot of stuff into it that has made it so easy for people to come in, you vote, and you can go home, you come back. We are sorting now, and we can start counting. So it's like, and everybody are enlightened. We've been able to tell our party supporters, comport yourself very well, don't fight. And the process of voting, even the void votes that we have now, is at the barest minimum, because we're able to teach them appropriately how to place their fingers properly. Even the illiterates, if you need help, who to call to help you, is fantastic. And it's a going concern. It's a very, very fantastic thing that we've recorded, and it's going to keep on improving, I'm sure.
Okay, there have been allegations of vote buying, that some voters inducement. One of the candidates, that Engineer Sheguni, particularly alleged that he had, feelers that some parties are trying to induce the voters in order to, have them vote for them. Have you witnessed any, or do you have any report of such incidents?
As you rightly said, it's an allegation. You don't have proof. Anybody can just wake up and say they are buying votes there. You cannot buy votes where I am against my party. All their agents are here. So there's nothing you can see when they were voting, there is no way that would have been possible. You know, everybody is aware. There is awareness. They have their party agents. Everybody is on ground.
So are you saying these people, they are doing this thing without any form of...
You can see for yourself. We are here under the sun. We want to count the votes. We want to know who is the winner. And we have been able to tell everybody it is not a matter of the winner takes all. It is Ekiti State. So that has been able, and the town, everywhere is calm. So there's nothing like vote buying here. And I'm sure that it's just an allegation, which you expect that anyway, I'm sure.
If you look at the turnout of voters in this election, it's been so massive. According to INEC, more than 900,000 people registered for this election, but about 750,000 of them actually picked their PVCs before today. That's an improvement compared to what it used to be in the past. Can you identify a factor or any factors are responsible for this improvement?
It is so simple. Everybody knows now that your votes count. If you want to make a change, you want to make a difference, you have to come out and vote. And the voting card that you have, your voter's card, is your right. You cannot keep on complaining that the government is not run very well. It's not. You want to get stuff. You have to be there. You have to vote. You have to vote your own choice. So everybody is, there's awareness. That's just it. People know that it is very important to have your PVC. The PVC is what is going to determine this is what you want. This is the government you want. And that is what people did. And the parties were able to tell the people, go get your voter's card. And it's as simple as that. That is what the turnout has been massive.
Okay, let's talk about security situation in town. You have been to a lot of polling units, particularly here in Idosi local government. What have you observed?
I don't want to keep telling you everything is perfect. I want you to just drive round. You can see everybody is going about their businesses very peacefully. Nobody is harassing anybody. Some people came from Ekiti. I came from another state and all that. People came from all over the country to come and vote. So there is nothing. People will just stir up all sorts of rumors and all that to scare people off. It's another agenda for some people. But we told people, come to Ekiti State. Ekiti State is safe. There is nobody killing anybody. There is nobody that's, people have been going around and the atmosphere is very, very safe.
All right, thank you so very much. I'll get back to you before the end of the entire process. Thank you so much. I've been speaking with Bumi Bello, is a senior special assistant to Governor Fayemi on public-private partnership, and I'm still at Idosi local government area of Ekiti State. You can see the counting has begun, after sorting the ballots based on the parties that have been thumb-printed on each of them. Counting is underway now, and the people are counting alongside the polling officers here. So after this process, after this stage, the result of whatever is counted here is imputed into a form which everybody here, the party representatives, will sign to, and then the polling officers will now transmit that to the local government, from where it will be transmitted to the state secretariat of INEC for proper collation and subsequent announcement. Over to you.
Oba Adeoye, thank you so much for that thorough reporting.